Today I'm talking about something which is super common as you get older, swollen legs. Now, it's easy to brush it off and think, it's nothing. But actually it's often a sign of something else going on inside the body, and it can be something serious. So what is swollen legs? Well, swollen legs, or edema, which you might have heard of before, is essentially where fluid builds up in the tissues in the lower body. As we get older, it can happen for lots of reasons. It can be due to things like circulation changes, due to veins not working properly, heart problems, kidney problems, changes in medication, even just sitting down for too long. Yes, it can be harmless, but at the same time, often it can be a sign of things that are going on elsewhere in the body. It could be a sign that your kidney is really struggling, or that your heart is struggling with heart failure. It can be a sign that actually you're struggling with blood clots or even infections. And on top of this, more than you might realise, your swollen legs are probably making your life quite a lot harder. Those heavy legs are reducing your mobility. They're making walking harder. They're giving you less energy. Everything just feels a little bit more difficult, but more of a stretch than it used to. All of the waste products in your body are just accumulating in your legs, and those waste products not being removed drains all the energy out of you. It makes those normal things that used to be quite easy, or things you didn't even think about too much, just that bit harder. It can even make your balance quite a bit worse, and it often actually takes for people to improve their swelling in their legs for them to notice just how much of an impact it was having on their daily life. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you've had swollen legs in the past, you might have been prescribed a diuretic medication and you're thinking, Josh, I need to pee non-stop if I take that medication. And yes, it can be frustrating. I appreciate that going to the toilet or feeling like you need to go to the toilet all the time must be really hard. But in the long run, if there are things going on inside your body or your mobility is declining significantly, it often is worth continuing to take them. The thing is that in a lot of cases, there aren't many better solutions. They do really help to shift that extra fluid and to take pressure off your heart. So if you want to be around for longer and have more energy and feel better when you are around, then they're probably worth the price. And if they really are affecting you, often doctors will find a happy medium where you're taking them either less frequently or on certain days, so that actually you're able to manage the side effects of the medication. Now, aside from the medication, which we know can be a bit annoying, there are some things that you can do to improve the swelling in your legs by yourself at home. And number one is to keep moving. Often if we sit down for too long, all of the fluid can accumulate in our legs as gravity pulls that fluid down, and the muscles in your legs aren't working to push that fluid back up towards the heart. Now, if you think about being on a plane, that's often where people see huge amounts of swelling. When we're on a plane, obviously we're sat down for really long periods. So staying moving is tip number one. Number two is to cut back on the salt in your diet. This is because the body has to maintain sodium levels. So when we take in sodium through salt in the diet, the amount of water that we retain also increases, and this fluid leaks into other tissues, causing them to swell. Go for reduced salt options where possible, and just see what you can do to improve the overall quality of your diet. Number three is when you're having to sit down, elevate your feet so that they're higher in your hips, causing the fluid to drain down. And number four, as an alternative, is to actually use the muscles in your lower legs to squeeze the fluid back up the body. So you can lift up onto your toes, using your calf muscles and squeezing these muscles, which acts as a pump to squeeze the fluid and the blood around it back up against gravity towards your heart. Other ankle movements that you can do when you're lying on the floor, or if easier on the bed, include rolling your ankles round in circles, one way and the other. We can even do some marching, bringing the knees up one at a time, or we can lift one leg straight up into the air, up and down, just like that. And using these muscles can help to drain that fluid down away from the lower legs. And number five, if you haven't already had a conversation with your doctor about compression socks, these can make a huge difference, but obviously they need to be prescribed. So have a conversation with your doctor about whether that might be helpful for you. Now, here are some red flags that are important to be aware of. If one leg swells quite quickly, or if it goes red or hot to touch, or if you start feeling breathless alongside the new swelling legs, this can be real signs of infection, blood clots, and your heart really failing, and it's important that you speak to a doctor very quickly. So as I say, don't ignore those swollen legs. They can so often be a sign of what's going on elsewhere in the body. If you'd like some more tips about how you can maintain your health and fitness as you age or with a clinical condition, then please feel free to like and subscribe.